Good holy everyone, and welcome to General Physics 1, and today we are going to discuss on how you're going to solve for vectors using the analytical method. So in this problem, you are tasked to solve for the value of ax and the value of ay. So ano nga ba yung equivalent value ni ax and ni a sub y? Okay, so before that, we are going to choose our scale. Always remember that our scale is always in 1 centimeter. So we can just actually change 7.5 meters per second into 7.5 cm. Okay, so instead of 7.5 meters per second, we can actually use 7.5 cm. Now let's plot our graph or our values. So this is our this is our Cartesian plane, our y-axis, and our x-axis. X-axis. Now let's plot the angle 40 degrees using our protractor. So from the origin, we have here our 40 degrees located at this part. Okay, and then from the origin here, this is our origin. We are going to measure 7.5 cm from the origin up to the point 40 degrees. Okay, so from the origin to here. So count tayo ng 7.5. So that is our 7.5 cm. And we are going to label this vector A, or the line or with the arrow at the top of the letter. So this is our vector A. And then the next step is we have to plot our triangle. Okay, and then we have to label each side. So we can actually make a triangle by putting broken lines here. So we now have our triangle. Okay, and the longest leg here is called hypotenuse. And our angle actually measures 40 degrees, and our vector is, or our measurement is 7.5 cm. So our opposite side is located here since it is opposite the angle. And then our adjacent is located here at the base. Okay, so hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent is actually the mathematical term, but in physics, hypotenuse is actually known as the vector A, opposite known as the a sub y. Actually, it is known as a sub y since it is located or lying on the y-axis. Okay, and adjacent is our a sub x since it is lying on the x-axis. So this is the physics term of our label. So instead of hypotenuse, we call it vector A, and instead of opposite, we have a sub y. Instead of adjacent, we call it a sub x. Okay, now how are you going to solve ax and ay? You can actually use the SOHCAHTOA in solving that one. Okay, so on your module, you can actually see the formula SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so SOHCAHTOA is actually sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, right? And then cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And then tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Tama ba? Tama. So, this is the mathematical term. Okay? But in physics term, it is actually like this. So, sine theta is equal to opposite is our a sub y. Hypotenuse is vector A. Okay? And our cosine theta is equal to adjacent or a sub x over vector A, or vector A. And then our last one is tangent is equal to opposite or ay over adjacent ax. So to solve for ay or a sub y, what do you think is the best formula to solve for our ay? So our given is the angle and the vector A. So we already have our vector A and our angle. So this one is the best formula to solve for AY. And that is To solve for AY, we have sine theta is equal to A sub Y over vector A. Okay, ito yon. So, since we are looking for AY, we can actually derive the formula. It will become AY is equal to vector A sine theta. Okay, na-derive lang yung formula. So, our A is 7.5 cm times sine 40 degrees. So, using your cycle, so 7.5 times 7.5 times sine, 7.5 times sine 40 degrees. So, we have 4.82 cm. So, that is the value of our AY. So, we now have our answer. But still, we have to look for our AX. So, what do you think is the best formula to solve for AX? So, we already have the vector A and the angles. So, the best formula is the cosine theta. So, cosine is equal to AX over vector A. But, we can derive the formula to be AX is equal to vector A cosine theta. And our vector A is equal to 7.5 cm cosine 40 degrees. So, using our calculator, we can actually just have our answer 7.5 times cosine 40 degrees. So, we have 5.75 cm. Our AX is 5.75 cm. So, that is how you solve for our AY and AX. But you can actually use the tangent. But I think we will have a slight difference in the point or in the decimal, but it will be okay. But to make our answers uniform, okay, so we can actually just use the sine and the cosine. Okay, so that is how you solve for the analytical method.